What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and today we are going to be breaking down the blue early reveals for set 7 of Fusion World. So yeah, we're getting Omega Shenron. A little strange that we're getting GT in a completely separate color, but I guess if Dyma can be in 2 separate colors, I guess GT can as well, right? So yeah, let's jump in and talk about it. So Omega Shenron is a little different from most blue leaders, most leaders in general. On his front side, he draws when he swings, and then activate main to awaken. When your life is at 6 or less and you have 7 or more cards with Shadow Dragons and their special traits in your drop, you flip this card over. So this makes the life threshold, or the life restriction for awakening much, much higher than what every other leader in the game is kind of already doing. So you need to be at 6 life or less, and then you need to have 7 or more cards with Shadow Dragons in their special traits in your drop. With some of the support that you will see here in this video, you will see that there are a lot of cards that just either mill from the deck or mill from your hand, or you draw and cycle to then throw into the drop. Like, there's a lot of tools to help you meet this condition. So I think I want to say, at least from early testing, or not early testing, but for just early speculation, I want to say that this is definitely a bleeder. Like, blue's already the color where you pretty much defend as long as you can until you need to awaken, right? I think that's more prevalent than ever with Omega Shenron here. So yeah, then when he's awakened, when you pay the cost of an extra with Shadow Dragons and its special traits from your hand once per turn, you may place the same number of cards with Shadow Dragon in their special traits as that card's cost from your drop at the bottom of the deck in a random order instead, and then he draws a card when he attacks. So basically, it's a bit of a roundabout way to do this, but it's similar to Kid Goku's in the sense that you can free play extra cards that have Shadow Dragon in their traits. Instead of just paying the hard energy cost to activate those cards, you can just pitch those number of cards back into the deck to compensate for the energy, right? Or for the energy cost. There is one card that does that, and that we know of so far, and there's Burst Attack here. It's a 4 cost extra, where during this turn, when your card with Shadow Dragon and its special traits attacks an opponent's battle card with a cost of 5 or less, you place the attacked card at the bottom of its owner's deck. So basically, the way that this would work is that, weirdly enough, before I even get into how this would work, is that this is actually a piece of tech that allows you to get around barrier. For those that may not understand or know, barrier, the specific wording in terms of the rulings is that you cannot choose when the card says choose. It's treated as like a targeting effect, and barrier cards cannot be selected as targeting effects. They cannot be targeted. They cannot be chosen. Is how that basically works. Because of the wording, in terms of how they use this, in terms of the wording on the page here, this actually gets around barrier. Basically, the way that this works is that you would basically pitch 4 Shadow Dragon cards in your drop back into your deck to pay, and that would basically be paying the cost for the 4 energy, right? So then you would activate this, then you would swing into the Barrier Frieza, for example. Like, you swing into the Barrier Frieza. Even if you don't KO it this turn, by swinging into it, because your card with Shadow Dragon attacked an opponent's battle card with a cost of 5 or less, it gets placed at the bottom. So it completely gets around the barrier targeting and choose mechanic, and it's a relatively... I don't know if I necessarily like this card specifically, just due to the fact that you have to waste a turn swinging into the target that you want to remove. And I think that is a little... It slows you down a little bit, so I'm not like the biggest fan of that. But at the same time, I mean, we need some anti-barrier tech in the game. So we're getting it, at least in this card specifically, so I think that's perfectly fine. So yeah, we'll see what other extra cards comes with the Shadow Dragon archetype, but this is a solid start for this. Just being able to free play this by taking the stuff that you milled and putting it back into your deck, I think is really cool. So we talked about the leader. Let's talk about the first SR that was revealed. We have Nova Shenron, a 4-cost, 25k power, 5k combo battle card, where when KO'd, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area with a cost of 4 or less, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. Then he has an activate main once per turn, where you mill the top 4 cards of your deck into the drop, and then he goes back into active. So he's a double swinger, which isn't too bad. You're milling 4 cards. Ideally, the majority, if not all of your deck is going to be Shadow Dragons. So you've already kind of met the condition for that extra card that we just showed you earlier. The only downside to this card that I'm not 100% sold on is the when KO'd effect. 4 costs are relatively easy to get around for the most part. Like every deck in every color has a way to remove this card without actually like interacting with it, right? So it's relatively easy to kind of get around this when KO'd effect. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be some sort of Shadow Dragon card that allows you to KO your own stuff, because that would at least be some pretty interesting tech that blue doesn't normally deal with. So I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see what kind of options are given to us. But it's not a bad card whatsoever for an SR in what it's doing. I think it's perfectly fine. It facilitates your leader with his activate main. It swings twice for 25k, so that's 2 10ks out of your opponent's hand. And then depending on what other support they have here, if it has something that allows you to KO this itself, maybe like a Sin Shenron or something, then yeah, I think this would be fine as well. We'll just have to see. Next we have Oceanus Shenron, 2 costs, 5k power, 5k combo. On play, you could choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area with a cost of 1 or less and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. This is pretty good on curve, just being able to turn 2, put this out. Bottom deck a 1 cost after your opponent just played a cantrip. Or even like in like the red cell, the 18 searcher. And then you can basically, there's multiple ways that you can kind of do this. So, it's also got an activate main too, where you can place this card in a battle area into the owner's drop, and if your leader has Shadow Dragons and its special traits, play up to 1 Oceanus Shenron with a cost of 3 from your drop. As far as I'm aware, this 3-drop Oceanus Shenron has not been revealed yet. Take a look real quick. Just out of curiosity, I want to see if this is not something we missed. No, because it was revealed here, and there's no other Oceanus Shenron shown. So, yeah, so there's some like quote unquote like evolve tech or fusion tech with this. Like it's basically you're replacing this for a stronger version of it. We've seen this before in other decks. It's not anything different, but it's pretty cool because then by either placing this card in the drop with this effect, or if you haven't awakened yet, you can combo this card off the board because it's not really doing much for you outside of, you know, getting rid of that 1 cost. You can combo this card to stay defensive on your unawakened side and continue to facilitate your, you know, your milling and stuff for your awakening condition. So, still pretty cool tech. I don't mind this card. This card's pretty fun. Then we got Haze Shenron, 2 cost, 10k power, 5k combo. On play, if your leader has Shadow Dragon and its special traits, you can take a life. Then look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Shadow Dragon and its special traits, add it to hand, place the rest on the drop. This is also a very good card too. It's a Self-Awakener. Self-Awakener that lets you scry the top 2 of your deck, pick a card that you need at that particular moment from when you play them, and then you put the other one in the drop. And then, again, on your unawakened side, if you haven't met the conditions to be able to awaken yet, you can use this guy as combo fodder to help you facilitate that condition. So all of these cards are working really, really well for what the leader is trying to do. Next, we have Ice Shenron, 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader has Shadow Dragons and its traits, place the top 2 cards of your deck into their drop, then choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in the opponent's battle area and place it at the bottom of their deck. Again, this is a relatively good card on curve. Being able to just bottom deck an opponent's 2 costs or less is relatively good. Especially if you're going second, third, or second. Yeah, second. I don't know why I'm saying third. But yeah, I mean, once again, meets the condition. It helps you to meet the conditions that you're trying to meet to get to your awakened side. It meets the condition. It helps you to get to the conditions on your awakened side to help you free play those extras. And it's a 20k swinger with 10k combo power, which is really solid. So I got no complaints about ice here. Then we have another Nova Shenron, 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. If your leader is Shadow Dragons, place the top 2 cards of your deck into your drop, then choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less in your opponent's battle area and return it to the owner's hand. I've never really been a big fan of bouncing stuff back to the owner's hand. It's an evil necessity for a lot of decks right now, which kind of sucks. You know, Majin Buu is running rampant. So whether you're bottom decking or you're bouncing back to hand, you're just making sure that that board stays as clear as possible, especially with that 4 cost Kid Buu. You want, like, unfortunately, we have to run a card like this. But even still, it's a 20k swinger. It allows you to meet your conditions. It gets around a lot of the Buu stuff, which is really good. And then it, excuse me, woo, bless me. But yeah, meets the conditions for your Awakened Leader ability or your Unawakened Leader. So, again, not a bad card either. Then we have Rage Shenron, 4 cost, 30k power, 5k combo, who's a critical. It's not bad. Cards like this are relatively kind of like whatever, like they're very middling of the road. Stat line's fine. I don't have a real issue with the stat line itself. It'll be cool to see if there's like a 3 cost Rage Shenron that lets you cheat this out early or something, but we'll kind of have to see. So then we got Naturon Shenron, 2 cost, 5k power, 5k combo. On play, draw a card, then discard a card. So he's a hand cycler. And then activate main, you place this card in a battle area into the drop. If your leader has a Shadow Dragon, play up to 1 Naturon Shenron with a cost of 3 from your drop, which would be this guy. This guy would be 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo Naturon Shenron, and where on play, if you have 7 or more cards in the drop, you draw a card. So probably this card's probably better to play in the mid game, because you want to have this in the drop. And you want to have that 7 or more cards like condition, and basically this tech allows you to basically replace the 2 cost Nature Shenron in your hand, basically. So you basically did that whole tech with no real negative, right? So that is that. But that is the Omega Shenron stuff that's been revealed so far. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. I mean, Omega's rounding out a little bit better than he did before. I still am a little skeptical. Like, I think this deck is going to be heavily dependent on how good a lot of the Shadow Dragon support actually is. But until we see more, currently I'm kind of looking at him, and I'm not going to say he's bad, but there's a lot more that I want to see. Like, I want to see some pretty crazy cards being dropped for this guy to make this guy worthwhile to run. Like, Blue's in a really bad spot right now. So like, this deck really, really needs to be good. Regardless of whether he's good or not, though, he does look like he'll be a fun deck to play. So I can't fault the game devs for at least making a fun deck in this guy. But he definitely needs some really strong support to kind of keep Blue in the standings. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more. Again, thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers on the channel. I greatly do appreciate the love and support. As always, you guys are awesome. But until next time, I will see you guys all in the next Fusion World video. Peace.